Hello, my name is April Wevodau. I am the artistic director and one of two daughters of the late Carol Wevodau. This evening, we are celebrating the life and legacy of my mother and the 40th anniversary of the Wevodau Dance Center. It all began as the Joanne School of Dance. My Aunt Joanne was running the dance school at the St. Catherine's Catholic School on Derry Street in Harrisburg. Students were dancing in the hallways, the gymnasium, and even in the basement. After my birth in 1973, my mom decided she was going to learn how to dance. She was 27, and she had me in tow in an infant seat. She would set me in the corner of the classroom as she took lessons. Apparently, I was destined to be in the classroom forever. My mom fell in love with dance, so she decided to get a dance education degree at HAC. She also joined Dance Educators of America and the National Association of Dance and Affiliated Arts. It was at this time where she met her best friend, Forey Garrett, who also was a dance studio owner. As time went on, Aunt Joanne became very involved in coaching swimming at the West Shore YMCA. She told my mom, "If you want to keep the dance center alive, it's yours." My mom was very nervous, but Forey assured her by saying, "You've got this and you can do it." She always had the support of Forey and his dance center. I always felt the community could learn a lot from the respect and admiration that these two had for one another. Mom made the decision to keep the dance school thriving. She sought to keep the family name in the business, so she changed the name to the Wevodau School of Dance. In later years, she decided the word school just wasn't professional enough, and then she rebranded to the Wevodau Dance Center. As more years progressed, Mom decided to open a West Shore location at the Upper Allen Township building. She moved the Harrisburg location to the Cross Point United Methodist Church. Having two locations was hard on her and the staff. Eventually, she decided to stay at the West Shore location because it was closer to home. The dance center began to grow, and once again, we had to move. She moved the studio to the Linda Lane location in Camp Hill, where it thrived for many years. Once Mom's health began to decline, so did the building at Linda Lane. The studio was an important part of her life. Looking back, it almost seems fitting that when she had to leave us, we needed to leave that building. Both Mom's health and that of the building were declining. I had to make a decision. Do I close or do I move? I elicited the help of some of the strongest women that I knew to assist me in making decisions about the future of the studio. Together, we chose to honor my mom's life and legacy by partnering and continuing operations. We moved the studio to its current location, where we have already expanded once and where we can have a larger impact on this community while cherishing all that she gave to her dance family.
Hello, my name is Kim Ford, teacher and president of the Wevodau Dance Center. My story starts 30 years ago in 1991. I had grown up in a dance studio in New Jersey and felt the pull to find a studio that had classes for adults. At that time, as well as now, there were few traditional dance studios that offered any kind of classes for adults. Carol Wevodau answered my call and I was welcomed with open arms. That first year was rough for me as I was pretty much the only adult in the adult ballet class amongst a lot of teenagers, and I hadn't taken ballet lessons for many years. I had to really concentrate on what I was doing so as not to embarrass myself. In the jazz class that followed, there were a lot of adults who came in, and I could enjoy the experience a lot more. I stayed and added other classes as the years went by. At one point in time, Carol asked me to join her teaching staff. Then about a year after that, she asked if she could give me a key to the studio because I lived close by and it would help to have an adult who could get there quickly if the need arose. You know the old adage, be careful what you wish for? Well, I wasn't. I foolishly told her that if I was going to have a key, I had to have a title. She and her sister thought about it for a while and decided on school manager, or as Carol came to affectionately call me, CB, Carol's brain. Little did I know that by accepting the key and title, I had signed a blood oath of loyalty to Carol in the studio. Many times I tried to drop the title, and many times she laughed. When we created our exec team, I tried to quit too, but I had been Carol's brain for too long, and no one else wanted the job. Over the years, our adult program has grown and expanded thanks to Carol's vision. I am forever grateful to her for having created a place where people of every age, size, color, and background can come and flourish. In doing so, they can develop a camaraderie with other like-minded people. I am strengthened and encouraged by our dance family as we continue to develop Carol's legacy. Carol, we love you, we miss you, but we know you are always watching. Thanks for everything.
Hi, I'm Deb Bender. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of Wevodau Dance Center. 29 years ago, I realized our daughter Kate needed something to occupy her busy feet and asked her if she would like to go to dance class. Her answer was a resounding yes. Then the question was, what dance schools are in the area and which one do we choose? Thankfully, a member of our church had a daughter at Wevodau's and told us how much she loved it there after having tried several others. I signed Kate up that fall for level 1 as she was beginning first grade. Who knew how large an impact that decision would mean for our family? Kate not only loved her classes at Wevodau's, she loved the friends she made there. She found her niche, an activity that did keep her feet quite busy, but also where her confidence and soul soared. She also had fun. After watching the adult classes on stage for 8 years, I decided at age 39 to register for the beginner class, knowing full well that if I didn't try it then, I never would. Hard to believe that was over 20 years ago, and both of us are still here. The main reason is because you never age out at Wevodau's. If you are at least 3 years old and potty trained, you can take classes here. After you graduate from high school or college, you can dance here. As an adult who never had formal dance training before, you can dance at Wevodau's. If you want to dance, there are classes for you here. Carol Wevodau had a passion for dance, for teaching dance, was creative, encouraging, and made it fun. I was fortunate enough to have her as a teacher until dementia started to rear its ugly head. After that, she worked in the office and did as much as she could for as long as she could because this was her school. Carol has taught dance and mentored thousands of students. A number of them enjoyed dance careers after graduation. Others that began at Wevodau's used it as a launching pad to specialize in specific dance styles at other schools. Many others were able to use the skills they learned to perform in school and college musicals, excel in color guard, or pursue a college dance major. Countless others enjoyed the physical benefits of dance, such as increased flexibility, better balance and posture, and keeping your mind sharp, as is certainly the case for me. Carol's loss in January was a hard one, for all of us, but especially for April. However, carrying on her legacy keeps her close to us, through all the things she taught us about dance, and being able to enjoy it throughout our lives. She has certainly made her presence known at the studio, outside the studio, and through the life of the countless number of students that have been part of the last 40 years of dance education because of her hard work and creative influence. Thank you, Carol. We will continue to work hard to evolve and grow Wevodau Dance Center so that it can continue to be part of the greater Harrisburg dance community in your honor.
Hello, my name is Kate Bender, and I'm the Assistant Business Manager, Secretary of the Executive Board, teacher, and the go-to tech and all things digital person for Wevodau Dance Center. But more importantly, I'm an alumni. I started dancing at Wevodau's when I was in first grade, which was almost 30 years ago. I can't believe how time flies. I was fortunate to have Carol as a teacher in Level 2, Level 4, Company, and Intermediate Adult. Carol was like a second mom to all of us and was always happy to see you when you arrived at the studio. Even after I graduated, I came back to visit at the recital and to take class in the summer. Carol was always so welcoming and constantly encouraged us to come back and see her. She is one of the biggest reasons there are still so many other alumni at the studio today who are either in class or on staff. Many of their kids now dance here as well. Also, because of her passion for the adult classes, some of our adult dancers have been at the studio for decades, even if they didn't dance here as children. I am so fortunate to be able to follow in her footsteps by being one of the teachers of the intermediate adult class that she used to teach. I started in that class back in high school, and she showed me that dance is something that you could do for your whole life. For those of us who had danced with Carol for many years, we will often put her favorite moves into our choreography as an ode to her. I can't do a back essence and tap or a chase ball change in jazz without thinking of her. Her dances were always fun and entertaining, and it's something I strive to do in my own dances. She and her daughter April, who is still my teacher, were wonderful mentors for me. I danced a little in college and was in color guard in high school, but I can truly say that everything I know about dance, I learned at Wevodau's. For those of you who are new to our school or who never met Carol, I can honestly say that if you have ever had fun in dance class, felt welcomed, and feel like a part of our family, you have Carol to thank for that. She is the one who shaped so many of us, and how we teach, dance, and act at the studio is because of what she taught us. We love our new students, and many of them already feel like they've been with us for much longer than they have been. Carol always did a great job of making all of her dancers feel welcome, new and old. Wevodau Dance Center is a place for dancers of all ages, shapes, sizes, and backgrounds to feel good about themselves and to have fun and enjoy the wonderful art of dance. I am proud to be part of the team who is helping to carry on her legacy, and I never imagined, as that little first grader who started dance all those years ago, that I would be helping to keep the studio going with the other members of the executive team as well as the management and teaching staff. I think if you would have told me back then what I'd be doing now, I would not have believed you. But it's Carol who made it all possible. Carol, I miss you so much, and I hope we are making you proud.
My name is Kimberly Kennewell, and I'm the CEO of Wevodau Dance Center. When April asked me to join her executive team, and then later when she asked me to become one of her partners, I had the same answer as each of the other women, an overwhelming yes. The reason? Carol Wevodau. One thing Carol knew in her dance soul was that hard work and dedication paid off at any age. I read this poem as part of an awards acceptance speech 3 weeks after my own father's death, and I find it fitting now to share it again here, in this place, to honor Carol's legacy. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears, but he said what mattered most was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you lived your dash? You see, change is inevitable, but growth is optional. Carol knew that, even though one of the final changes for her took a devastating toll on her mind, her body, and her soul. Though Carol has left our earthly dance studio, it is her dash we honor. Her goal, her dash if you will, was to keep serving our community. We moved, we grew, we made it through COVID-19 shutdowns and restrictions. We added classes, we expanded our footprint, and we survived. Had it not been for the dedication and cooperation of our students, staff, parents, and alumni, we may not have. We learned to adapt to a new set of circumstances, and we learned about graceful change. Now we are looking toward the future of our studio and know that if we continue to honor Carol's legacy, her dash, by working hard and remaining dedicated to our core mission, all things are possible.